ShinRobjira.
Ghidorah might be golden foily, but I gotta give some praises out to this here box over here. Hiya definitely put some extra elbow grease into making this a really lovely looking box. It fits the tone of that of King Ghidorah from the 2019 film. What else is there to say? It's pretty looking cardboard. I dig it. King Ghidorah will be standing at over 12 inches tall, and you know what? We're gonna get right into articulation, because not too much has changed now. Save for the tails going on a bit easier with the right amount of heat, and this right here. Now, why am I pointing at King Ghidorah's tits? Well, check this out. Unlike the original version of the figure, at the base of all three necks over here, we are going to get hinge joints at the necks, so you can push the heads forward and back rather easily and without fault. Yeah, that was not present in the original version, at least my copy, which... let me go get him. Hello, old friend. Yeah, so that's just a ball joint, and it doesn't even go as far back or forward as the new one does. So hopefully, by comparison, you can all see that while this is a small little update, it is definitely one that brings reward and was much needed, and I didn't even know I needed it. Now, whether that's a hinge joint or just a much better working ball joint, I don't freaking know. I'm not taking this thing apart. But it's an update nonetheless. And while the movement isn't crazily deep or anything like that, it's still very much worth mentioning, and further just makes this version the version to pick up. Anyway, back to articulation. See you back here for paint and detail in like 4 minutes. Yeah, that's pretty much all we're going to get in terms of new, save for the paint and the accessories, as articulation-wise, this figure is no different from the original. A slight band-aid fix for that of the necks. Clearly, Hiya took what they learned here and are applying it to Heisei King Ghidorah, which, as we've already seen so far, is looking to be the superior three-headed golden dragon. But yeah, I mean, I really don't have too much else to say in regards to articulation. It did what the original did. It does it a little bit better. For the most part, you're gonna get the same thing. The waist is definitely a bit tighter this go-around. Yeah, that's solid star in terms of articulation. And as far as posability goes, he's got giant wings that you can hinge or unhinge off from one another to get weird poses. He's 2019 King Ghidorah. As much as you can possibly do with this figure, or even the SH Monster Arts figure, if you have the stability, it's what you can do. It's nice having yet another King Ghidorah in the collection. It's not nice knowing that I'm going to have to probably buy more shelves very, very soon. But this definitely feels like the more fantastical centerpiece to that of the Hiya Toys shelf that I have. And the articulation coupled with this beautiful golden paint job only further solidifies that. And as far as the knuckle walking mode goes, it's definitely a lot easier to achieve this go around. It could just be my copy, or it could be an actual improvement that was made, but I've noticed that getting the arms to swivel and then bend inwards is actually a lot easier this go around. Could also be because that this guy showed up in the middle of a very hot, rainy, thunderous day, so who knows? The knuckle walk is the knuckle walk. You'll either choose to do it or not. I'll still give it a solid star for being a thing. Alrighty, paint and detail. Gold. Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. Yes, Gravity Beam King Ghidorah is massively shiny, foily gold, and he's utterly beautiful except for that. Yep, another paint scuff right out of the box. Is this on the same friggin' head as last time? Yeah, same head. Same piece! And another piece above that. And that piece over there. Shit. But other than that little conundrum, yeah, we're gonna get different shades of gold, lots of gold. It's really, really pretty. And I believe King Ghidorah's eyes are actually much better this go around too. On righty over here, we're going to see just a lot of friggin' detail coated in gold. I really like that his little horns over here actually have a bit of silver in them. Either that or just a lighter gold in general. The teeth are gonna have a little bit of gold on them. I don't think that was intentional because, I mean, look at the size of his head compared to my pinky. Now imagine trying to paint all of that, like, Yeah, it's not so easy. Taking a look at the opposite side of the head over here, a little bit more of the same. Again, the teeth are going to be a bit on the golder side than, teeth side, but also, he is firing his gravity beam, so intentional? Probably, maybe. But once more, the detailing is fantastic. I really don't think we needed the inside of the nostrils to be painted pink. Even as a color pink enjoyer, I can honestly say, yeah, we really didn't need that at all, but thanks for thinking of us. I think a darker color would have done much better in that category. Now, as far as the eyes go, I think they're pointing decently straight. I mean, there's just so much friggin' gold. I would say this guy's eyes are pretty good, actually. Good old Itchy over here, his eyes are doing pretty good. I mean, even if they're not painting forward, I gotta give Hiya Toys credit. How did they do that the first time? How are they doing it again? And wow, that just looks nice. Yet again, more golden teeth, nice pink for the inside of the mouth, even though I didn't mention that prior, it's just kind of obvious. Listen, I loved the first version of this figure. It was pretty much set in stone that I was going to love this version. And even though the teeth are a little miscolored and Kevin's eyes are a little misaligned, despite that being rather in character for the boy, I can't be mad. Again, I love the little doses of different golds going on with the horns. I do, once again, wish that the horns were a little bit more splayed out so they left the side of his head a bit more. But good God, man, this looks awesome. I love it. Gold-plated throat goat Ghidorah. Hell yeah. Ugh, the intricate little detailings being plated with this gold paint just... Yes, that's all there is to it. Yes. Even the spikes are gold. But you know what isn't gold? The toenails. And that's fine, because they're a little gold. Just a tiny bit. Alright, now, I just want y'all to take this in. Look at that shine. Look at that color. Look at that detail. It's just so beautiful. I love the ripples in the wing membranes mixed in with some veinage and some other cool little detailings. I mean, look at this. I feel like I'm looking at an Oscar award statue at 3,000 times the magnification. And just the way King Ghidorah's scales just fade into the membranes and everything. It looks great. Now, these little claws at the end of all the pointed parts of his wings, they will not be gold, and they're essentially going to be repping what they did with the original release. But they are detailed, still. And, it's swooping shots, fam. Wow. Jesus Christmas. I feel like we're missing a little bit of gold over here, just a little bit, but then you look at the rest of the figure and it's like, there's a lot going on, there's a lot to take in, there's a lot to love, unless you don't like shiny things. It might just be a me thing, because I'm an idiot and I love bright and shiny things. I'm like a seagull at Wildwood. There's a reason why they make those hot dogs glisten in the light. Yep, the back of the figure is going to look just as good. Yeah, gold head to toe. Detailed head to toe. Fan-damn-tastic. Look at that back. Look at those gold little spikes. I feel like the back needed a little bit more gold, but I'm being facetious. Definitely didn't use that word correctly in a sentence. Fa. That's how it's done, fam. That is how it is done. And I love the way how the membranes and the fingers, I guess. I don't know extraterrestrial dragon anatomy, I'm sorry. Simply put, I love how everything stands out. I love how everything feels like it belongs on this figure, both in terms of color and in terms of detailing. And yeah, I guess we could talk about the tails. Now, despite the articulation on these things not improving much at all, it is nice to see them back, and with shinier paint. Just look at all that detail and paint. Wow. And they're essentially going to look the same on both sides in terms of paint and detail. The paint varying from side to side, of course. One-handed Ghidorah grip coming right up. King Ghidorah has a golden gooch. And I just wanted to showcase what the tails look like on the undersides and such. Very nice, very obvious, very beautifully painted, and good golly gosh, he's got a golden plated dick. 2 solid stars in terms of paint and detail, because, I mean, detail we already knew going in, but paint? Whew, I wish I could whistle. I tried. Now, before we move on, I have to show off the accessories, because that's like part of the reason why most people would even get this thing. Yep, with this figure, you are going to get 3 beautiful stands. I know. Gravity beams, hell yeah. They're all essentially going to look and operate the exact same. There's no difference between them. And sure, here, I'll show my work. They all look the same, they all end the same, and they all go in the same as well. Which I found out about thanks to instructions. Oh boy, let's take a look at what we got here. Alright, rotate the wings 90 degrees clockwise around the joint bending. Alright, this is an improvement from last time. Hiya, I think. Was it? Is it? I don't know. But now, let's see what we got with the gravita beams. So, the interface is trapezoidal, with the longer side corresponding to the upper jaw. I'm gonna be honest with you, this didn't help me at all. Yeah, the shape and everything really didn't help me too much, but you know what did? We've got teeth marks on the top. And wouldn't you know it, the teeth mark up there means it's the top of the beam. All you're gonna need to do is make sure that King Ghidorah's tongue is going to be centered, because the tongue is going in that hole. Sounds like a Saturday night. Just gently get it in there, don't push it too hard, and boom, King Ghidorah's got gravity beams. The jaws may droop. Just do that with all three, and your Ghidorah will be looking very PIMP. Ferrari F50. Now, I do think if these here gravity beams are going to remain a mainstay with Hiya's Monsterverse Ghidorah, I mean, I genuinely don't know what else they would do next. Maybe a battle-damaged one. We might need some tolerance updates for the jaw, but you know what? For the most part, they hold in pretty much any pose you get them into as long as you're, you know, careful. Except for Knee Boy over here. When I point him down, no matter how oh, okay. Yeah, his jaw just, his doesn't like staying fully closed. Kevin's doing pretty good in terms of that, actually. And Itchy over here, yeah, I mean, damn. It's gold, it's see-through, it's seamless, it's awesome. Easy solid star here. And don't get me wrong, I appreciate the stands, because while you really don't need them for him to stand, they definitely help when it comes to poses. Whew, it is getting hotter in here. Let's cut on over to size comparisons, and then we can do the big thing. Shokugan, movie, Sham, HG, Hiya, Playmates, Ultraman, SH Monster Arts Special Color King Ghidorah. Let's get into it. Now, if you watched my review of the original Hiya King Ghidorah, you know I did this. You know I did it for quite a bit. So when it comes to accuracy between the two sculpts, the Hiya one is more accurate. The SH Monster Arts one is not. This time, I actually have something positive to say about the SH Monster Arts release because I actually really love how varied it looks. Standard SH Monster Arts 2019 King Ghidorah, yeah, it's a pile of shit. I'm kind of sorry. I mean, the thing really didn't have too much going for it, and while this thing's main thing it's got going for it is just going to be shiny paint, I personally think it lives up to special color version. And yeah, it's ungodly expensive and definitely not worth the money, but coming across it for a very easy to digest price really has me appreciating it. Who? What? How? Where? You'll never know. Now let's see how the two Hiya Ghidorahs do against one another. Mother Magnolia, I'm gonna need a bigger table for stuff like this. Yeah, in comparison, the standard Ghidorah from Hiya is definitely a bit more on the duller side. It's like, yeah, here we have this Oscar award-worthy golden boy who got all blinged out. And over here we actually have something that feels a bit more organic. Bakery style. Now, of course, different collectors are going to like different things, and regardless of what version you pick up, actually, I would just say pick this up because it's got the new joints at the base of the neck where this one doesn't really have that. Plus, you get gravy beans. Yeah. So anyway, everybody, Gravity Beam Ghidorah, mwah, fantastic. And somehow he's like, what, $10 cheaper than the original? Why even buy the original at that point? And I know some people were frustrated at the fact that as soon as Standard Ghidorah came out in the US, this one went up for order too. I get that. It's strange, that's for sure. But at the end of the day, now you have two rather affordable Ghidorahs that are still on the market, I think, that you can buy and not spend $400 or $500 on special color version Ghidorah. Don't worry, we'll get to that in like 3 years. I've been ShinRobjira. do so. Hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next week with SH Figuarts Ultraman Rising. See you then. Peace.